So I got offered a job. I had to say I can't take the job anymore because I have cancer. I thought that this was kind of going to be the start of my life. I was 20 years old and everything kind of stopped and I didn't really know what to do. It was just so much to take in. I think it kind of numbs you a bit. 1 minute you're fine, right, I've got cancer, I'm going to get on with it. And then the next minute, you literally don't know what's happened. I kept getting like dream-like feelings where I'd wake up in the morning thinking that I dreamt it and then like have this shock of really horrible like reality.
It was just a big shock, you know, big massive shock to the system.
It's just like a bombshell, isn't it? I mean, that day you got diagnosed, we sat there, I couldn't move. You don't expect someone so young to have the diagnosis, do you? It's something you never ever think it's going to happen to you. It happens to other people. That is what you think, isn't it? You kept saying to Faye, are you sure?
Yeah, has it been confirmed?
Oh, totally in total denial, yeah.
We had to sort of convince him, didn't we, that we, you know.
Everyone kind of deals with it in a different way, and I think you accept that. Everyone was like really supportive.
We did try and just carry on as normal, didn't we? We did as much as we could. We still laughed, we still joked. There were certain things that had to change, but we still
got on
with our life, yeah.
When I first started having chemo, I would say I got quite heavy fatigue. It was kind of like a build-up, so I would kind of get through tiredness and then all of a sudden it would hit me really hard and I'd just have to have a day of literally sleeping and resting. 2 months into my treatment, I got told I was cancer-free, so I had another 4 months treatment left. You knew that you didn't have cancer in your body, but you had to go through something really, really tough. And I think that really mentally fatigues me in terms of me wanting to get to the end, but not being able to get there. After treatment, you're still getting the tail end of fatigue. It was quite hard for my family to kind of decipher whether it was just me being a normal teenager.
Yeah, teenagers and young adults are moody anyway, aren't they? So to have the added fatigue and the added complications of having chemo and what you're going through, the ups and downs of that, it was, you know, I thought it was incredibly difficult, really. Looking back, it might be a good idea to have had some more advice about it, to highlight the fatigue thing, because I didn't realise it was going to be such a big thing.
It was hard to kind of explain. You're not going through treatment anymore, like the fatigue shouldn't be there. I think, you know, once it's finished, people like to just forget, and to be fair, like I wanted to just forget, but it's still there and it's still a thing that we need to combat and that we're trying to get through. Getting cancer made me realise that I wanted to do something that I actually enjoy, so I kind of looked into studying fashion. I applied for Central St Martin's to study fashion history and theory. A few months after I'd finished treatment, I found out that I got in. It kind of felt really special to me. Central St Martin's is amazing. I love it. I felt like I was going to start my career and my life. Before I got diagnosed, I feel like I'm properly starting now rather than then. My advice for other young people experiencing fatigue would be movement and exercise, even if it's something really, really small, like a walk around the block or literally standing in front of the TV and marching, which is what I did actually quite a lot. That movement and exercise, I think is good mentally and physically. I had to kind of plan things in terms of when I would have a good day, because you knew that after you'd had the chemo, that weekend and days after that were kind of a write-off. Once you create the routine, I personally felt that I could do things on certain days. Advice I would give to parents is listen. I think it's all about communication. I struggled to kind of understand myself, the fatigue and kind of normal tiredness.
Have that little bit of, you know,
Time out.
We just wish that you could have had a bit of time out, because, you know, going through what you were going through, it was kind of, it wasn't fair, but it was, you know, we kind of needed it to recharge our batteries, really, to help you.
It's quite nice to talk to other parents who are the same, because sometimes you sort of feel a little bit alone, and then it's not till you start talking, you realise that a lot of it, everybody's gone through the same, and you realise you're actually not as alone, and then it's very comfortable talking to people, because it's like belonging to a club that you don't want to join.
It was amazing finishing treatment, but it was still quite tough because you've had this kind of 6 months of this thing and then all of a sudden it just stops. Obviously you don't want to go through that, but I just wanted to kind of like get on with my life. Positivity was the key to getting through it.
But I think we really did well as a family, because Faye did really well because of how you were, because you were positive and your attitude towards it all made everybody else in the family feel better, you know.
As horrible as it was, it just changed my life for the better at the end. I'd say I definitely have a different outlook on life now. I want to take as many opportunities as possible, embrace everything, the good and the bad. Sometimes I kind of completely forget that I had cancer because life feels good.